Well, I'm here with Jesse Ventura, and we just did an interview for his upcoming television program, Conspiracy Theory. Governor, it's good to be here with you.
Great, Alex. Always nice to see you.
Never hung out with you in California. Tell us about the TV show.
Well, it's a TV show. It's going to be on the True Network, and we're going to deal with conspiracies, and we're going to deal with all sides of them, and it's going to be multiple different ones that we'll deal with, and I think people are going to find it not only enlightening, but entertaining at the same time.
What did you think of our little discussion about population reduction?
Well, it's kind of stunning when I talk to you about it. It is the kind of thing when it's told to you, you're not sure if you can believe it or not, because it's so outrageous and outlandish in its concept.
But
that you can't imagine that things like that can occur in our lives. But the more I'm doing conspiracy theory, the more I'm learning about different conspiracies out there beyond, of course, just the assassination of John F. Kennedy and things of that nature. It's pretty enlightening and pretty shocking when you do learn about them.
Well, I'm glad that your show is somewhat of an investigation of these ideas, because a lot of it out there, from my research, is baloney, or part of it's wrong, part of it's right. More often than not, that's the case. Sure. I'm just seeking for the truth and trying to find out historically what's happened, what's happening currently, and what's coming up in the future. But I will tell you, on the subject of eugenics, on the subject of world population reduction, it's part of the public record. It's just not popularly known. That's what's so exciting about you doing this TV show. Tell us about some of the other topics that are going to be covered and when it's going to be airing.
Well, we don't know exactly yet, and you know, the other topics, I don't know if I want to be at liberty right now to say any of them, you know.
It's double top secret probation?
Yep, it's double secret probation, just like Animal House at this point in time. But you know that, Alex, you'll be a part of the shows, and we've talked to some very interesting people on a lot of very interesting subjects, and I'll just leave it at that for right now. Tentatively, it should be out, I'm guessing, around November or around Christmas time. We should hit the air somewhere in that general vicinity, I hope.
But it's been in the news that you are tackling 9/11.
Oh, it has? Okay, yeah, well, that would be one of them then. 9/11's one, because, you know, we all know that there's conspiracy theories about 9/11, and our mainstream media won't cover any of this stuff, so they leave it to me, so I have a job now.
That's another question. We haven't really seen any big national TV shows look at this. I think you're going to be one of the first that is going to objectively do it.
Hopefully. And hopefully that'll get us some ratings, and hopefully we'll be bought up and we'll be on another season. It's all part of what you do in this particular business, and Alex, for me, it's a case they won't let me retire. I want to retire. I want to go surfing, but yet this is so intriguing to me, I'm holding off my retirement until we get this project done.
How did you get into this, Governor? Because I remember about 3.5 years ago, I first met you in San Antonio. I interviewed you. I gave you my film Terror Storm.
Yep.
You knew a little bit about Gulf of Tonkin and some issues, but it seems like more and more, you're writing a book, I heard, on the subject.
Yep.
You come on my show.
Yep.
I mean, it seems like Jesse Ventura is
well,
kind of...
Here's the problem, Alex. I now live half the year down in Mexico. Well, I don't watch TV in Mexico when I'm down there for the 6 months. I read. And so I go out, I get books on interesting topics. I like to study history, and I like to study real things. I don't like to particularly read novels, because that's simply someone else's imagination writing a story in a book. Well, I have my own imagination. I don't need anybody else's, generally. So I like to read history, and I like to read controversial history. And so really, this has blossomed because of my time in Mexico. I mean, I remember 3 years ago, I actually read 17 books in one winter down there. Alex, that's more books than I read in my entire school career. You know, so it's reading and it's doing that. And this show was, I'm the creator of it, basically. I took it with my people and we sold it, and the True Network bought it, and they found it interesting enough, and here we are.
Governor, doing the research for this television show, and now that you're really immersed in this and reading all these books when you're down in Mexico part of the year surfing, what do you think of the New World Order itself, the move towards world government, or are you not even convinced of that?
Well, I guess I'm 50-50 right now, you know, as I look at it, because I don't want to believe it, and that's probably what holds me back on it, but I'm certainly seeing enough indication that it could be true. Absolutely, because they're always talking about Mexico and the United States and Canada ending up like Europe. And there's things done politically that seem to take us in that direction. And so I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention. You know, the time for, you know, you got time to watch baseball, you got time to watch football, you got time to entertain yourself. But I think a knowledgeable public we're losing, and we've got to get people back on track to paying attention, because if you don't pay attention to your government and what they're doing, you're going to pay some dire consequences for it. I always live, you know, by simple things of that dissension is the greatest form of patriotism. And I believe that. Because if you don't hold your elected officials' feet to the fire and pay attention, you are going to get bad government. So it's imperative for all of us. It's our job as citizens of this great country to pay attention.
All right, Governor Ventura, thanks for talking to us.
Alex, thank you.
Last week, the head of the country's central bank floated the idea of dumping the greenback as the world's reserve currency, replacing it with an international currency.
Thousands of people gathered to hear Barack Obama deliver key foreign policy speech on his current European tour. His vision for America's place in a new world order.
Returning vets could be a risk to our nation.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
And one of the ways it will drive the change is through global governance.
I think the New World Order is emerging.
This is a hoax and a scam which is designed to transfer wealth and power from the private sector to the government sector and from the government of the United States to a world government.
And those people who have been yelling, oh, the UN's going to take over global
conspiracy
government.
Theorists.
They've been crazy, but now they're right.
And who got the money? Hundreds and hundreds of banks. Any bank or that has access to the U.S. Federal Reserve's discount.
Tell us who they are.
No.
You know, financial terrorism. They have the ability to tweak the knob.
I am proposing that the Federal Reserve be granted new authority.
The ultimate goal of the carbon tax and the cap and trade is to destroy production.
This energy tax is the largest tax increase in American history.
We're actually creating a global warming police. So number one, they can come in, the federal government can come in and inspect your house and send you the bill. We're setting up a global warming Gestapo.
One of the things that if you talk to our generals, they are desperate for is a civilian counterpart to our military forces.
I am fierce.
And this is what I wear.
Senator Barack Obama's presidential campaign is asking Missouri law enforcement to target anyone who lies or runs a misleading television ad.
I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
The president, when he was in Europe last week, he met with the king of Saudi Arabia. He appeared to bow.
President Obama today proposed something new, something called prolonged detention. Pre-crime is where people are arrested and incarcerated to prevent crimes that they have not yet committed.